Hello and welcome to this second look exploring session. Yes, this is the end of the week for us. It's a Friday. We've been doing very serious analysis of plays all week, and on a Friday we like to let our hair down and go over a play we've already looked at. We've already looked at this play, Cambyses, A Lamentable Tragedy, mixed full of pleasant mirth, containing the life of Cambyses, king of Persia. We've already looked at this before in detail, stopped and started and discussed it at length, and now what we're going to do is we're going to just go for it. We have this wonderful team of people here who are going to try and give it some welly. We're going to be popping in and out and in a performy kind of way, and we're just going to try and get a sense of how the play flows and how it performs in context, because stopping and starting, often we lose the flow of scenes and the energy dies, and it'll be really... We're rather enjoying these Fridays as a way to unwind as well, and be a little more acty than we are the rest of the week. That doesn't mean, however, that we're all professional actors or that everyone will be doing acty things. But if people do want to do it, then they will, and some of them you can't stop them. You just look at their faces. You'd think butter wouldn't melt in their mouths, but no. Give them an inch, and they will take a mile. Some of these people. Anyway, so in a moment we are going to all disappear from your screens and start going for the text. But to give you a sense of how the play is going to double, we're going to go through the parts now. So a lot of the characters are all doubled in quite extreme ways, vaguely based on the doubling chart that goes with the original printing. We have made a few minor changes for this read because we have more people than that doubling has. So today, reading Meretrix, the personification of shame, Otian, a mother, and then a lady who later becomes a queen, is...
Hi, I'm Eleanor. I'm an actor, singer and producer, general merrymaker based in Suffolk.
And reading today, performing Ambidexter and Trial, is...
Hi, I'm Steve Longstaffe, scholar of early modern drama based in Lancaster in the UK.
Reading Counsel, Huff, Praxaspes, Murder and Lob, is...
Alexandra, and I am all for that acting-y thing.
All for that acting-y thing. Oh, it's a terrible thing. It's going around. It really is. Reading the prologue, performing a young child, Cupid, Marian, and the epilogue as well, is...
Hello, I'm Sarah Blake. I'm an actor, writer and director based in Germany.
Performing Ruff, Common's Cry, the Common's Complaint, Smirdis and Venus, is...
Hello, I'm Helen Good. I'm a historian and I'm currently in Yorkshire.
Performing Night, Snuff, Small Ability, Proof, Execution and Attendance, is...
I'm Aliki Chapple. I'm an actor, translator, theatre maker based in the north of England.
Reading Sisamnes, Diligence, Cruelty, Hob and Preparation, is...
I'm Kyle A. Thomas. I'm a theater historian, actor, and director, and I'm based in Missouri in the United States.
And terrifying us all with his progression into ruthlessness and horror. Reading Cambyses today is...
Liza Graham. I do acty things in London.
Just like that. Just like that. Then we've detached from the doubling scheme the various lords and moved some of the lines around. So if you are following this online, the script at the same time, some of the lords are different lords than they should be. But reading just the lord, a lord, lord without a number, today is...
Hi, I'm Eric, and I'm not entirely sure I know what acty things are anymore.
They're like techie things, but more acty. Reading The First Lord today is...
I am Alan Scott. I'm neither an actor nor an academic, and I'm based in Suffolk.
Reading the second Lord and also a maid is...
Hi, I'm Lynn. I teach college writing. I live in the northwestern United States.
And finally, reading third Lord today is...
My name's Elizabeth Amisu, and I'm an author living in Romford.
Excellent. And I'm your host, Robert Crichton, and I will be mostly silent. We're not going to be marking scene changes with sound effects or anything like that. There may be occasional noises occurring off via me, but I'm going to try and keep that to a relative minimum. So all that remains really is for everyone who is not in this opening of the play to quietly disappear now. Quietly disappear. Yes, that's excellent. In a moment you will hear the prologue to this lamentable tragedy, mixed full of pleasant mirth, containing the life of Cambyses, king of Persia. Enjoy the ride. Enjoy the ride.
Agathon, he whose counsel wise to prince's weal extended, by good advice unto a prince 3 things he hath commended. First is, that he hath government and ruleth over men. Secondly, to rule with laws, eke justice, saith he then. Thirdly, that he must well conceive he may not always reign. Lo, thus the rule unto a prince Agathon squared plain. Tully the wise, whose sapience in volumes great doth tell, who in wisdom in that time did many men excel. A prince, saith he, is of himself a plain and speaking law, the law a schoolmaster divine. This by his rule I draw. The sage and witty Seneca his words thereto did frame. The honest exercise of kings, men will ensue the same. But contrariwise, if that a king abuse his kingly seat, his ignominy and bitter shame in fine shall be more great. In Persia there reigned a king, who Cyrus hight by name, who did deserve, as I do read, the lasting blast of fame. But he, when sisters 3 had wrought to share his vital thread, as heir due to take the crown, Cambyses did proceed. He in his youth was trained up by trace of virtue's law, yet, being king, did clean forget his perfect race before. Then, cleaving more unto his will, such vice did imitate, as one of Icarus his kind forewarning then did hate, thinking that none could him dismay, nay, none his facts could see. Yet at the last a fall he took, like Icarus to be. Else, as the fish, which oft had take the pleasant bait from hook, in safe did spring and pierce the streams when fisher fast did look to hoist up from the watery waves unto the dried land, then scaped. At last by subtle bait, come to the fisher's hand. E'en so this king Cambyses here, when he had wrought his will, taking delight the innocent his guiltless blood to spill, then mighty Jove would not permit to prosecute offence, but what measure the king did meet, the same Jove commence, to bring to end with shame his race. 2 years he did not reign. His cruelty we will dilate, and make the matter plain. Craving that this may suffice now your patience to win, I take my way. Behold, I see the players coming in.
My counsel, grave and sapient with lords of legal train, attentive ears towards bend and mark what shall be sayin'. So you, likewise, my valiant knights, whose manly acts do fly, by brute of fame the sounding trump doth pierce the azure sky. My sapient words, I say, perpend, and so your skill dilate. You know that Morse vanquished hath Cyrus, that king of state, and I by due inheritance possess that princely crown, ruling by sword of mighty force in place of great renown. you know, and often have heard tell my father's worthy facts. A manly Mars's heart he bare, appearing by his acts. And what? Shall I to ground let fall my father's golden praise? No, no. I mean for to attempt this same more large to raise, in that I, his son, succeed his kingly seat as due. Extend your counsel unto me in that I ask of you. I am the king of Persia, a large and fertile soil. The Egyptians against us repugn as varlets, slave, and vile. Therefore, I mean with Mars's heart with wars, them to frequent, them to subdue as captives mine. This is my heart's intent. So shall I win honour's delight, and praise of me shall go. My counsel speak, and lordlings eke. Is it not best do so?
O puissant king, your blissful words deserves abundant praise, that you in this do go about your father's fame to raise. O blissful day, that king so young should profit such profit should conceive, his father's praise and his to win from those that would deceive. Sure, my true and sovereign king, I fall before you pressed, answer to give as duty mine in that your grace request. If that your heart addicted be the Egyptians to convince, through Mars's aid the conquest won, then deed of happy prince shall pierce the skies unto the throne of the supernal seat, and merit there a just reward of Jupiter the Great. But then your grace must not turn back from this pretensed will, for to proceed in virtuous life employ endeavour still, extinguish vice, and in that cup to drink have no delight. To martial feats and kingly sports fix all your whole delight.
My counsel grave, 1,000 thanks with heart I do you render, that you my case so prosperous entirely do tender. I will not swerve from those your steps whereto you would me train. But now, my lord and valiant knight, with words give answer plain. Are you content with me to go the Mars's games to try?
Yea, peerless prince, to aid your grace, myself will live and die.
And I, for my ability, for fear will not turn back, but as the ship against the rocks sustain and bide the rack.
Oh, willing hearts, 1,000 thanks I render unto you. Strike up your drums, with courage great we will march forth even now.
Bit, O king, few words to hear, my duty serves no less. Therefore, give leave to counsel thine, his mind for to express.
Speak on, my counsel, what it be, you shall have favour mine.
Then I will speak unto your grace, as duty doth me bind. Your grace doth mean for to attempt of war the manly art. Your grace therein mayhap receive with others for your part the dent of death. In those affairs all persons are alike. The heart courageous oftentimes his detriment doth seek. It's best, therefore, for to permit a ruler of your land to sit and judge with equity when things of right are scanned.
My grace doth yield to this your talk, to be thus now it shall. My knight, therefore prepare yourself Sisamnes for to call. A judge he is of prudent skill, even he shall bear the sway, in absence mine, when from the land I do depart my way.
Your knight before your grace, even here himself, hath ready pressed, with willing heart, for to fulfill as your grace made request.
Please it your grace, I judge of him to be a man right fit, for he is learned in the law, having the gift of wit. In your grace's precinct I do not view for it a meeter man. His learning is of good effect, bring proof thereof I can. I do not know what is his life, his conscience hid from me. I doubt not, but the fear of God before his eyes to be.
Report declares he's a man that to himself is nigh, one that favoureth much the world and too much sets thereby. But this I say of certainty, if he your grace succeed, in your absence but for a while he will be warned indeed, No injustice for to frequent, no partial judge to prove, but rule all things with equity to win your grace's love.
Of that he shall a warning have my hests for to obey. Great punishment for his offence against him I will lay.
Behold, I see him now aggress and enter into place.
O puissant prince and mighty king, the gods preserve your grace. Your grace's message came to me, your will purporting forth. With grateful mind I it received, according to mine oath, erecting then myself with speed before your grace's eyes. The tenor of your princely will from you for to agnize.
Sisamnes, this the whole effect the which for you I sent. Our mind it is to elevate you to great preferment. My grace and gracious counsel eke hath chose you for this cause. In judgment you do office bear, which hath the skill in laws.
Fear list, it shall not be. Oh, by God's moons, I will make some next and a read.
In judgment you do office bear, which have the skill in laws. We think that you, accordingly, by justice rule will deal, that for offence none shall have cause of wrong you to appeal.
Abundant thanks unto your grace for this benignity. To you his counsel, in like case with lords of clemency. What so your grace to me permits, if I therein offend, such execution then commence, and use it to this end, that all other by that my deed example so may take, to admonish them, and flee the same, by fear it may them make.
Then, according to your word, if you therein offend, I assure you, even from my breast, correction shall extend. From Persia I mean to go into the Egypt land, them to convince by force of arms and win the upper hand. While I therefore absent shall be, I do you full permit, as governor in this my right, in that estate to sit. For to detect and eke correct those that abuse my grace, this is the total of my will. Give answer in this case.
Unworthy much, O prince, am I, and for this gift unfit. But sith that it hath pleased your grace, that I in it must sit, I do avouch unto my death, according to my skill, with equity for to observe your grace's mind and will, and not from it to swerve, indeed, but sincerely to stay. Else let me taste the penalty, as I before did say.
Well then, of this authority I give you full possession.
And I will it fulfill also, as I have made profession.
My counsel, then let us depart, a small stay to make. To Egypt land now forth with speed my voyage I will take. Strike up your drums, us to rejoice to hear the warlike sound. Stay you here, Sisamnes, judge, and look well to your bound.
Even now the king hath me extolled, and set me up aloft. Now may I wear the broidered guard, and lay in down bed soft. Now may I purchase house and land, and have all at my will. Now may I build a princely place, my mind for to fulfill. Now may I abrogate the law, as I shall think it good. If anyone me now offend, I may demand his blood. According to the proverb old, my mouth I will upmake. Now it doth lie in all my hand, to leave or else to take, to deal with justice to my bound, and so to live in hope. But oftentimes the birds be gone, while one for nest doth grope. Do well or ill, I dare avouch, some evil on me will speak. No, truly yet, I do not mean the king's precepts to break. To place I mean for to return, my duty to fulfill.
Stand away! Stand away for the passion of God. Harnessed I am, prepared to the field. I would have been content at home to abode, but I'm sent forth with my spear and my shield. I'm appointed to fight against a snail, and Wilkin Wren, the ancient shall bear. I doubt not, but against him to prevail. To be a man, my deeds shall declare. If I overcome him, then a butterfly takes his part. His weapon must be a blue speckled hen. You shall see me overthrow him with a fart. So, without conquest, he shall go home again. If I overcome him, I must fight with a fly. And a black pudding, the fly's weapon must be. At the first blow on the ground he shall lie. I shall be sure to thrust him through the mouth to the knee. To conquest these fellows, the man I will play. Now, you will make me to smile, to see if I can all men beguile. My name? My name? Would you so fain know? Yea, you wish, shall you? And that with all speed. I forgot it, therefore I cannot show. And now I have it indeed. My name is Ambidexter. I signify one that can with both hands finely play. Now, with King Cambyses, and by gone, thus do I run, this and that way. For while I mean with a soldier to be, then give I a leap to Sisamnes the judge, I dare avouch, ye shall his destruction see. To all kinds of estates I mean for to trudge. Ambidexter! Nay, he is a fellow, if you knew all. Cease for a while. Hereafter, hear more ye shall.
God's flesh, these was expired by his wounds. By his wounds, I hope I do well for my part. By Gog's art, the world shall go evil if I do not shift at some old Carl's budget. I mean, for to lift.
By his flesh, nose, eyes and ears, I will vent a void of all cares. He's not a soldier that doth fear any doubt, if that he would bring his purpose about.
Fear that fear list? It shall not be I. By Gog's wounds I will make some neck stand awry. If I lose my chair, I swear by God's heart, take another take on my part.
Yet I hope to come the richer soldier away.
If a man ask ye may have to say nay.
Let all men get what they can, not to least, I hope. Wheresoever I go in, each corner will I grope.
What? And you run into the corner of some pretty maid?
To grope there, good fellow, I will not be afraid.
God's what art thou that with us dost melt? Thou seemst to be a soldier, the truth to tell. Thou seemst to be harnessed, I cannot tell how. I think he came lately from riding some cow. His poor slave did I never see. Ruff, dost thou know him? I pray thee tell me.
No, by my troth, fellow Huff, I never see him before.
As for me, I care not if I never see him more. Come, let us run his horse against a post.
Ye slaves, I will be with you at the host. Ye knaves, I will teach ye how you shall me deride. Out of my sight. I cannot ye abide. Now, Goodman Pouchmouth, I'm a slave with you. Have it you afresh even now. Mine arse against the post you will run. I will make you from that saying to turn.
I beseech you heartily to be content.
I ensure you by mine honesty, no hurt we meant. Beside that again, we do not know what ye are. Ye know that soldiers their stoutness will declare. Therefore, if we have in anything offended, pardon our rudeness, and it shall be amended.
Hey, God's pity, begin ye to entreat me? Have it ye once again. By the mass, I will beat ye.
Let us kill him. Suffer no longer.
Thou slave, we will see if thou be the stronger.
Strike off his head at one blow, that we be soldiers. Gog's heart, let him know.
The passion of God, I'm done. By mine honesty, I will hereafter take your part, verily.
Then content. Let's agree.
Let's agree.
Shake hands with me. I shake hands with thee. Ye are full of courtesy. That is the best. And ye take great pain. Ye are a mannerly guest. Why, masters, do you not know me? The truth to me tell?
No. Trust us.
Trust
Not
us
very
not very
well.
Why, I am Ambidexter, whom many soldiers do love.
Gods, to have thy company needs we must prove. We must play with both hands with our hostess and host. Play with both hands and score on the post now and then with our captain for many a delay. We will not stick with both hands to play.
Honest a man ye may me trust.
What? Is there no lads here that have the lust to have a passing troll to help at their need?
Gogs, she is come indeed. What, Mistress Meretrix? By his wounds, welcome to me.
What will you give me? I pray you. Let me see.
By his heart, she looks for gifts by and by.
What, Master Ruff? I cry you mercy. The last time I was with you, I got a broken head and lay in the street all night for want of a bed.
Gog's wounds, kiss me, my troll so white, and thee, I swear, is all my delight. If thou shouldst have a broken head for my sake, I would have made his head to ache.
What, Master Ambidexter, who looked for you?
Mistress Meretrix. I thought not to see you here now. Oh, there is no remedy. Meeting, I must have a kiss.
What, man? I will not stick for that, by gif.
So now, Gramercy, I pray thee be gone.
Nay, soft, my friend. I mean to have one. Nay, soft, I swear. And if ye were my brother, before I let go, I will have another.
Dog's heart! The whore would not kiss me yet.
If I be a whore, thou art a knave, then it is a quit.
Hearest thou, Meretrix, with who this night wilt thou lie?
With him that giveth the most money.
Gogs, I have no money in purse, nay yet in clout.
Ah, then get thee hence, and pack it like a lout.
Adieu, like a whore.
Farewell, like a knave.
Gog's nails, Mistress Meretrix. Now he is gone, I'll match ye shall make straight with me. I'll give thee sixpence to lie one night with thee.
Gog's heart, slave, dost thou think I am a sixpenny jug? No, with ye, Jack, I look a little more smug.
I will give her sixpence to serve me, eightpence to serve me first.
Gramercy, snuff, thou art not the worst.
By Gog's heart, she were better hanged to forsake me and take thee.
Worse she shall, that we shall see.
By Gog's heart, my dagger into her I will thrust.
Oh, you boy, you would do it if you durst.
Peace, my masters, ye shall not fight. He that draws first, I will him smite.
Gog's wounds, Master Snuff. Are ye so lusty?
Good sides, Master Ruff. Are you so crusty?
You may happen to see.
Do what thou darest to me.
Besides, knave, seeing to fight ye be so rough, defend yourselves, for I will give ye both enough. I will teach you how ye shall fall out of me. Yea, thou slave snuff, no more blows wilt thou bite, to take thy heels a little time hast thou spied. Thou villain, seeing snuff is gone away, a little better I mean thee to pay.
At last! Good Mistress Meretrix, no more. My legs, sides, and arms with beating be sore.
Thou a soldier, and lose thy weapon? Go hence, sir boy, a woman hath thee beaten.
Good Mistress Meretrix, my weapon let me have. Take pity on me, mine honesty to save. If it be known this repulse I sustain, it will rebound to my ignominy and shame.
Oh, if thou wilt be my man and wait upon me, this sword and buckler I will give thee.
I will do all at your commandment. As servant to you, I will be obedient.
Then let me see how before me ye can go. When I speak to you, ye shall do so. Off with your cap at police and at board. Forsooth, Mistress Meretrix, at every word. Tut, tut, in the camp such soldiers there be. One good woman shall be to wear 2 or 3. Well, I am sure customers tarry at home, mannerly before, and let us be gone.
The passion of God, be they here still or no? I durst not abide to see her beat them so. I may say to you, I was in such a fright, body of me, I see the hair of my head stand upright. When I saw her so hard upon them lay, the passion of God thought I she will be with me anon. I made no more ado, but avoided the thrust, and to my legs began for to trust. I fell laughing to myself when I was once gone. It is wisdom, quoth I, by the mass, to save one. Then into this place I intended to trudge, thinking to meet Sisamnes the judge. Behold, where he cometh, I will him meet, and like a gentleman, I mean him to greet.
Since that the king's grace, his majesty in office did me set, what abundance of wealth to me might I get. Now and then some vantage I achieve, much more yet may I take, but that I fear unto the king that some complaint will make.
Jesu, Master Sisamnes, you are unwise.
Why so? I pray ye, let me agonize. What, Master Ambidexter, is it you? Now welcome to me. I make God a vow.
Jesu, Master Sisamnes, with me you are well acquainted. By me, true rulers may be trimly painted. Ye are unwise, if ye take not time while ye may. If you will not now, when you would, ye shall have nay. What is he that of you dare make exclamation, of your wrong dealings to make explication? Can you not play with both hands and turn with the wind?
Believe me, your words draw deep in my mind. In color wise and to this day, to bribes I have inclined. More the same for to frequent, of truth I am now minded. Behold, even now unto me suitors do proceed.
I beseech you here, good master judge, a poor man's cause to tender. Condemn me not in wrongful wise that never was offender. You know right well, my right it is, I have not for to give. You take away from me my due that should my corpse relieve. The commons of you do complain, from them you devocate with anguish great and grievous words, their hearts to penetrate. From right you fell unto the wrong, your private gain to win. You violate the simple man, and count it for no sin.
Hold thy tongue, thou prattling knave, and give to me reward. Else in this wise I tell thee truth, thy tale will not be heard. Ambidexter, let us go hence, and let the knave alone.
Farewell. Small ability, we're out now. Get ye gone. Bribes hath corrupt him, good laws to pollute.
A naughty man that will not obey the king's constitute. With heavy heart I will return, till God redress my pain.
From among the grisly ghosts I come, from tyrants' testy train. Unseemly shame, of sooth, I am, procured to make plain the odious facts and shameless deeds that Cambyses king doth use. All piety and virtuous life he doth it clean refuse. Lechery and drunkenness he doth it much frequent. The tiger's kind to imitate, he hath given full consent. He naught esteems his counsel grave, no virtuous bringing up, but daily still receives the drink of damned vice's cup. He can bide no instruction, he takes so great delight in working of iniquity, for too frequent is spite. As fame doth sound the royal trump of worthy men and trim, so shame doth blow with strained blast the trump of shame on him.
My judge, since my departure hence have you used judgment right? If faithful steward I ye find, the same I will requite.
No doubt your grace shall not once hear that I have done amiss.
I much rejoice to hear so good news as this.
Alas, alas, how are the commons oppressed by that foul judge Sisamines by name. I do not know how it should be redressed to amend his life, no wit he doth frame. We are undone and thrown out of door, his damnable dealing doth us so torment. At his hand we can find no relief nor succour. God grant him grace for to repent. Oh!
What doleful cries be these, my lord, that sound do in mine ear? Intelligence, if you can give, unto your king declare. To me it seemeth my commons all they do lament and cry out on Sisamnes, judge most chief, even now standing us by.
Even so, O king, it seemed to me as you, rehearsal maid, I doubt the judge culpable be in some respect or trade.
Redoubted king, have no mistrust, no wit your mind dismay. There is not one that can me charge or aught against me lay.
Commons complaint I represent, with thrall of doleful state, by urgent cause erected forth my grief, for to dilate. Unto the king I will prepare my misery to tell, to have relief of this my grief, on fettered feet so fell. Redoubted prince and mighty king, myself I prostrate here. Vouchsafe, O king, with me to bear, for this that I appear. With humble suit I pardon crave of your most royal grace, to give me leave my mind to break before you in this place.
Commons complaint, keep nothing back, fear not thy tale to tell. Whate'er he be within this land that hath not used thee well, as prince's mouth shall sentence give, he shall receive the same. Unfold the secrets of thy breast, for I extinguish blame.
God preserve your royal grace, and send you blissful days, that all your deeds might still accord to give the gods the praise. My complaint is, O mighty king, against that judge you buy, whose careless deeds gain to receive hath made the commons cry. He, by taking bribes and gifts, the poor he doth oppress, taking relief from infants young, widows, and fatherless.
Untrustful traitor, and corrupt judge, how likest thou this complaint? For warning I to thee did give of this to make restraint, and hast thou done this devilish deed mine ire for to augment? I sentence give, thou Judas judge, thou shalt thy deed repent.
O puissant prince, it is not so. His complaint I deny.
If it be not so, most mighty king, in this place let me die. Behold that I have brought with me both proof and trial true, to stand even here and sentence give what by him did ensue.
I proof do him in this appeal. He did the commons wrong. Unjustly he with them hath dealt. His greed was so strong, his heart did covet into get. He cared not which way. The poor did lease their due and right, because they want to pay unto him for bribes indeed. This was his wonted use, whereas your grace good laws did make, he did the same abuse.
I trial here to verify what proof doth now unfold, to stand against him in his wrong, as now I dare be bold.
How likest thou this, thou caitiff vile? Canst thou the same deny?
O noble king, forgive my fact, I yield to thy mercy.
Complaint and proof, redress will I all this your misery. Depart with speed from whence he came, and straight command by me the execution man to come before my grace with haste.
For to fulfill this your request, no time we mean to waste.
My lord, before my grace go call Otian, this judge's son, and he shall hear and also see what his father hath done. The father he shall suffer death, the son his room succeed, and if that he no better prove, so likewise shall he speed.
As your grace hath commandment given, I mean for to fulfill.
Accursed judge, couldst thou consent to do this cursed ill? According unto thy demand, thou shalt for this thy guilt receive thy death before mine eyes. Thy blood it shall be spilt.
Behold, O king, Sisamni's son before you doth appear.
Otian, this is my mind, therefore to me come near. Thy father here for judgment wrong procured hath his death, and thou his son shalt him succeed when he hath lost his breath. And if that thou dost once offend, as thou seest thy father have, in likewise thou shalt suffer death, no mercy shall thee save.
Mighty king, vouchsafe your grace my father to remit. Forgive his fault, his pardon I do ask of you as yet. Alas, although my father hath your princely heart offended, amends for this he will now make, and faults shall be amended. Instead of his requested life, pleaseth your grace, take mine. This offer I as tender child, so duty doth me bind.
Do not entreat my grace no more, for he shall die the death. Where is the execution man, him to bereave of breath?
At hand, and if it like your grace, my duty to dispatch, in hope that, when deed is done, a good reward shall catch.
Dispatch with sword this judge's life, extinguish fear and cares. So done, draw thou his cursed skin straight over both his ears. I will see the office done, and that before mine eyes.
To do the thing my king commands, I give the enterprise.
Otian, my son, the king to death by law hath me condemned, and you, in room and office mine, his grace's will hath placed. Use justice, therefore, in this case, and yield unto no wrong, lest thou do purchase the like death, ere ever it be long.
Father dear, these words to hear, that thou must die by force, bedews my cheeks with stilled tears. The king hath no remorse. The grievous grief and strained sighs my heart doth break in twain. And I deplore, most woeful child, that I should see you slain. O false and fickle, frowning dame that turneth as the wind, is this the joy in father's age thou me assigns to find? Doleful day, unhappy hour that loving child should see his father dear before his face thus put to death should be. Yet, father, give me blessing thine, and let me once embrace thy comely corpse in folded arms, and kiss thine ancient face.
O child, thou makest mine eyes to run, as rivers do by stream. My leave I take of thee, my son. Beware of this, my beam.
Dispatch even now, thou man of death. No longer seem to stay.
Come, Master Sisomes, come on your way. My office I must pay. Forgive, therefore, my deed.
I do forgiveth thee, my friend. Dispatch, therefore, with speed.
Behold, O king, how he doth bleed, being of life bereft.
In this wise he shall not yet be left. Pull his skin over his ears, to make his death more vile. A wretch he was, a cruel thief, my commons to beguile.
Oh, what child is he of nature's mould could bide the same to thee, his father flayed in this wise? Oh, how it grieveth me!
Otian, thou seest thy father dead, and thou art in his room. If thou beest proud as he hath been, even thereto shalt thou come.
O king, to me this is a glass, with grief in it I view. Example that unto your grace I do not prove untrue.
Otian, convey your father hence to tomb where he shall lie.
And if it please your lordship, it shall be done by and by. Good execution, man. For need, help me away with him.
I will fulfill, as you to me did say.
My lord, now that my grace hath seen that finished is this deed, to question mine give tentive ear, and answer make with speed. Have I not done a gracious deed to redress my commons' woe?
Yea, truly, if it please your grace, you have indeed done so. But now, O king, in friendly wise I counsel you in this, certain vices for to leave that in you placed is. The vice of drunkenness, O king, which doth you sore infect with other great abuses, which I wish you to detect.
Peace, my lord, what needeth this? Of this I will not hear. To palace now I will return, and there to make good cheer. God Bacchus, he bestows his gifts, we have good store of wine, and also that the ladies be both passing brave and fine. But stay, I see a lord now come, and eke a valiant knight. What news, my lord? To see you here my heart it doth delight.
No news, O king, but of duty come to wait upon your grace.
I thank you, my lord, and loving knight. I pray you with me trace. My lords and knight, I pray you tell, I will not be offended. Am I worthy of any crime once to be reprehended?
The Persians much praise your grace, but one thing discommend, in that to wine subject you be, wherein you do offend. Sith that the might of wine effect doth oft subdue your brain, my counsel is, to please their hearts, from it you would refrain.
No, no, my lord, it is not so. For of this of prince they tell, for virtuous proof and princely facts, Cyrus he doth excel. Why, that his grace by conquest great the Egyptians did convince, of him report abroad doth pass, to be a worthy prince.
In person of Croesus, I answer make, we may not his grace compare in whole respect, for to be like Cyrus the king's father, in so much your grace hath yet no child of Cyrus left behind. Even you, I mean, Cambyses king, in whom favor I find.
Croesus said well in saying so, but Praxaspes, tell me why that to my mouth in such a sort thou shouldst avouch a lie of drunkenness, me thus to charge, but thou with speed shall see whether that I a sober king or else a drunkard be. I know thou hast a blissful babe, wherein thou dost delight. Me to revenge of these thy words, I will go wreak this spite. When I the most have tasted wine, my bow it shall be bent at heart of him even then to shoot, is now my whole intent. And if that I his heart can hit, the king no drunkard is. If heart of his I do not kill, I yield to thee in this. Therefore, Praxaspes, fetch to me thy youngest son with speed. There is no way, I tell thee plain, but I will do this deed.
Redoubted prince, spare my sweet child, he is mine only joy. I trust your grace to infant heart no such thing will employ. If that his mother hear of this, she is so nigh her flight, in clay her corpse will soon be shrined to pass from world's delight.
No more ado, go fetch me him, it shall be as I say. And if that I do speak the word, how dare you once say nay?
I will go fetch him to your grace, but so I trust it shall not be.
For fear of my displeasure great, go fetch him unto me. Is he gone? Now by the gods I will do as I say, my lord, therefore fill me some wine, I heartily you pray. For I must drink to make my brain somewhat intoxicate. When that the wine is in my head, oh, trimly I can prate.
Here is the cup filled with wine, therefore to take repast.
Give it to me to drink it off, and see no wine be waste. Once again, enlarge this cup, for I must it still taste. By the gods, I think of pleasant wine I cannot take my fill. Now drink is in. Give me my bow and arrows from Sir Knight. At heart of child I mean to shoot, hoping to cleave it right.
Behold, O king, where he doth come, his infant young in hand.
O mighty king, your grace best, with sorrow I have scanned, and brought my child from mother's knee before you to appear, and she thereof no whit doth know that he in place is here.
Set him up, my mark to be, I will shoot at his heart.
I beseech your grace not so to do. Set this pretence apart. Farewell, my dear and loving babe. Come, kiss thy father dear. A grievous sight to me this is, to see thee slain, even here. Is this the gain now from the king for giving counsel good before my face with such despite to spill my son's heart blood? Oh, heavy day to me this is, and mother in like case.
Father, wipe your face. I see the tears run from your eye. My mother is at home, sewing of her bands, alas. Oh, dear father, why do you cry?
Before me, as a mark, now let him stand. I will shoot at him my mind to fulfill.
Alas, father, will you me kill? Oh, good master king, do not shoot at me. My mother loves me best of all.
I have dispatched him. Down he doth fall. As right as a line his heart I have hit. Nay, thou shalt see Praxaspes stranger news yet. My knight, with speed his heart cut out and give it unto me.
It shall be done, O mighty king, with all celerity.
My lord, Praxaspes, this had not been, but your tongue must be walking. To the king of correction you must needs be talking.
No correction, my lord, but counsel for the best.
Here's the heart according to your grace's behest.
Behold, Praxaspes, thy son's own heart. How well the same was hit. After this wine, to do this deed, I thought it very fit. Esteem thou mayest right well there, by no drunkard is the king, that in the midst of all his cups could do this valiant thing. My lord and knight, on me attend. To palace we will go, and leave him here to take his son when we are gone him fro.
With all our hearts we give consent to wait upon your grace.
Oh, woeful man, O Lord, am I to see him in this case? My days I deem desires their end. This deed will help me hence to have the blossoms of my field destroyed by violence.
Alas, alas, I do hear tell the king hath killed my son. If it be so, woe worth the deed that ever it was done. It is even so, my lord. I see how by him he doth weep. What meant I, but from the hands of him this child I did not keep? Alas, husband and lord, what did you mean to fetch this child away?
Oh, lady wife, I little thought for to have seen this day.
Blissful babe, joy of womb, here's comfort and delight, for counsel given unto the king. Is this thy just requite? Oh, heavy day and doleful time these morning tunes to make. With beloved red eyes into my arms from earth I will thee take, and wrap thee in my apron white. But oh, my heavy heart, the spiteful pangs that it sustains would make it in two to part, the death of this my son to see. Oh, heavy mother now, that from thy sweet and surge joy to sorrow we shouldst bow. What grief in the womb did I retain before I did thee see? Yet at last, when smart was gone, what joy wert thou to me? How tender was I of thy food, for to preserve thy state. How stilled I thy tender heart at times early and late. With velvet paps I gave thee suck, with issue from my breast, and danced thee upon my knee to bring thee unto rest. It's the joy of thee I reap, O king of tigers' brood, O tiger's whelp, hadst thou the heart to see this child's heart blood. Nature enforceth me, alas, in this wise to deplore to wring my hands. Oh, well away that I should see this hour. Thy mother yet will kiss thy lips, silk soft and pleasant white, with wringing hands, lamenting for to see thee in this plight. My lordling dear, let us go home, our mourning to augment.
My lady dear, with heavy heart to it I do consent. Between us both the child to bear unto our lordly place.
Indeed, as ye say, I have been absent a long space. But is not my cousin Cutpurse with you in the meantime? To it, cousin, do your office fine. How like uses Amnes for using of me? He played with both hands, but sped ill-favouredly. The king himself was godly up-trained. He professed his virtue. I think it was feigned. He plays with both hands, both good and ill. But it was no good deed Praxaspes' son for to kill. And he for the good deed on the judge was commended. For all his deeds else he is reprehended. The most evil-disposed person that ever was. All the state of his life he would not let pass. Some good deeds will he do, though they be but few. The like things this tyrant Cambyses doth show, No goodness from him to none is exhibited, but still maledictions abroad is distributed. And yet we shall see in the rest of his race what infamy he will work against his own grace. No more words. Here comes the king's brother.
The king's brother am I, by birth am I, issued from Cyrus' loins. A grief it to me it is to hear of this the king's repines. I like not well of those his deeds that he doth still frequent. I wish to God that otherways his mind he could content. Young I am, and next to him no more of us there be. I would be glad in quiet realm in this his reign to see.
My lord, your good and willing heart the gods will recompense, in that your mind so pensive is for those his great offence. My lord, his grace shall have a time to pair and to amend. Happy is he that can escape and not his grace offend.
That wicked vice he could refrain from wasting wine, forbear. A moderate life he would frequent, amending this his square.
My lord, and if your honour it shall please, I can inform you what is best for your ease. Let him alone. Of his deeds do not talk. Then by his side he may quietly walk. After his death you shall be king. Then may you reform each kind of thing. In the meantime live quietly. Do not with him deal. So shall it redound much to your weal.
Thou sayest true, friend, my friend, that is the best. I know not whether he love me or do me detest.
Learn from his company all that you may. I, faithful attendants, will your honour obey. If against your honour he take any ire, his grace is as like to kindle his fire to your honour's destruction as otherwise.
Therefore, my lord, take good advice, and I, diligent, your case will so tender, that to his grace your honour shall be none offender.
I thank you both, entire friends, with my honour still remain.
Behold, where the king doth come with his train.
Oh, lording dear and brother mine, I joy your state to see. Surmising much, what is the cause you absent thus from me?
Oh, pleaseth your grace, no absence I, but ready to fulfill at all assays my prince and king, in what your grace me will. What I can do in true defence to you, my prince, aright. In readiness I always am to offer forth my might.
And I the like to you again do here avouch the same.
For this, your good agreement here, now praise
Now
it
praise be God's name.
But hear ye, noble prince, hearken your ear. It is best to do as I did declare.
My lord and brother, Smirdis now, this is my mind and will, that you to court of mine return, and there to tarry still, till my return within short space your honour for to greet.
At your behest, so will I do, till time again we meet. My leave I take from you, O king, even now I do depart.
Farewell, lord and brother mine, farewell with all my heart. My lord, my brother Smirdis is of youth and manly might, and in his sweet and pleasant face my heart doth take delight.
Yea, noble prince, if that your grace before his honour die, he will succeed a virtuous king and rule with equity.
As you have said, my lord, he is chief heir next my grace, and if I die tomorrow, next he shall succeed my place.
And if please your grace, O king, I heard him say, for your death unto the gods day and night he did pray. You would live so virtuously and get him such a praise that fame by trump his due deserts his honour should upraise. He said, your grace deserved had the cursing of all men, that ye should never after him get any praise again.
Did he speak thus of my grace in such despiteful wise? Or else dost thou presume to fill my princely ears with lies?
I cannot think it in my heart that he would report so.
How sayest thou? Speak the truth, was it so or no?
I think so, if please your grace, but I cannot tell.
Placed with both hands, now I perceive well. But for to put all doubts aside and make him leese his hope, he shall die by dint of sword or else by choking rope. Shall he succeed, when I am gone, to have more praise than I? Were he father as brother mine, I swear that he shall die. To palace mine I will therefore his death for to pursue.
Are you gone? Straight away I will follow you. I like you now, my masters. Doth not this gear cot on? The proverb old is verified, soon ripe and soon rotten. He will not be quiet till his brother be killed. His delight is holy to have his blood spilled. Marry, sir, I told him a notable lie. If it were to do it again, man, I durst do it. Aye. Marry, when I had done to it, I durst not stand. Thereby you may perceive I used to play with each hand. How now, cousin Cutpurse, with whom play you? Take heed, his hand is groping even now. Cousin, take heed, if ye do secretly grope, if you be taken, cousin, you must look through a rope.
I am wandering alone here and there to walk. The court is so unquiet, in it I take no joy. Solitary to myself now may I talk. If I could rule, I wist what to say.
My co-equal partner, Murder, come away. From me long thou mayst not stay.
Yes, from thee I may stay, but not thou from me. Therefore I have a prerogative above thee.
But in this case we must together abide. Come, come, Lord Smirdis I have spied. Lay hands on him with all festination, that on him we may work for our indignation.
How now, my friends? What have you to do with me?
King Cambyses hath sent us unto thee, sending us straightly without mercy or favour, upon thee to bestow our behaviour, with cruelty to murder you and make you away.
Yet pardon me, I heartily you pray, consider. The king is a tyrant, tyrannous, and all his doings be damnable and pernicious. Favour me, therefore, I did him never offend.
No favour at all. Your life is at an end. Even now I strike this body to wound. Behold, now his blood springs out the ground.
Oh, is he dead? Let us present him to the king.
Lay to your head, away him to bring.
Oh, passion of God, yonder is a heavy court. Some weeps, some wails, some make great sport. Lord Smirdis by cruelty and murder is slain. For Jesus, for want of him, how some do complain. If I should have £1,000, I could not forbear weeping. Jesus, have his blessed soul in keeping. Good Lord, to think on him, how it doth me grieve. I cannot forbear weeping. You made me believe. Oh, my heart. Oh, my pulses do beat with sorrowful lamentations. I am in such a heat. Oh, my heart, how for him it doth sorrow. Oh, nay, I've done it face now. Go give you morrow. Weep? Nay, laugh with both hands to play. The king through his cruelty hath made him away. But hath he not wrought a most wicked deed? Because king after him he should not proceed, his own natural brother, and having no more to procure his death by violence saw, in spite, because his brother could never be king, his heart being wicked, consented to this thing. Now he hath no more brothers, nor kindred alive. If the king use this gear still, he cannot long thrive.
God's hat, neighbors, come away. It's time to market to go.
God's vast neighbours, they is all. The clock hath stricken 5, I think, Baladican. But they from sleep chime not well waken. But neighbour Hob, what have you to sell?
Bum troth, neighbor Lob, to you I chill tell. Chave 2 goslings and a chine of good pork. There is no matter between this and York. Chave a pot of strawberries and a cat's head. As then I since tomorrow it hath been dead.
Chive a score of eggs and a butter a pound. Yesterday a nest of goodly young rabbits I found. Chave found 40 things more and of less. My brain is not very good of them to express. But God's hat, neighbor, what's what?
No, not well, neighbor, what's that?
Neighbor, Master King is a shrewd lad. So help me in my holidam, I think the fool be mad. Some say he deal cruelly, his brother he did kill, and also a goodly young lad's heart's blood he did spill.
Lord, by the God, neighbor, has he played such a foolish deed?
Good man Hob and good man Lob, God be your speed. As you two toward market did walk, of the king's cruelty I did hear you talk. But I assure you, he is a king most vile and pernicious. His doings in life are odious and vicious.
It were a good deed somebody would break his head.
Bombay, neighbor Lob, I should be were dead.
So would I, Lob and Hob, with all my heart. Now with both hands, see me play my part. Ye horse and traitorly knaves, Hob and Lob, out upon you, slaves.
And thou call'st me knave, thou art another. My name is Lob, and Hob, my next neighbour.
Hob, Lob, ye country patches. Oh, ye fools, ye make wrong matches. Ye have spoken treason against the king's grace. For it, I will accuse ye before his face. Then for the same ye shall be martyred, and at last you'll be hanged, drawn, and quartered.
Oh, gentlemen, ye shall have 2 pear pies and tell not of me.
By God, of that goose shall give thee. I think no hurt by my father's soul, I swear.
Chav lived well at my lifetime, my neighbors among, and now should be loath to come such wrong. To be hanged and quartered, the grief would be great.
Foul evil on thee, Hob, who bid thee on it treat? For it was thou that first did name him.
Thou liest like a varlet, and thou say'st the same. It was such a foolish Lob as thou.
Speak many words, and by God's nails I vow upon thy pate my staff I will lay.
By the mass, I will cause them to make a fray. Yea, Lob, thou sayest true. All came through him.
But they, thou hob, a little would make ye trim, give thee a swap in thy nose till thy heart ache.
If thou darest do it, else man cry creak. I trust before thou hurt me, with my staff she'll make a lob of thee.
What are you of me, husband hob? What bring you to fight? For the passion of God, no more blow spite. Oh, neighbour and friends so long, and now to fall out. What, in your age to seem so stout? If I had not parted ye, one had killed another.
I had not dared, I swear by God's mother.
Shake hands again at the request of me. As ye have been friends, so friends still be.
Bum trough, cham content, and zayst word, neighbour Lob.
I'm content. Agreed, neighbour Hob.
So, get ye to market, no longer stay. And with yonder knave, let me make a fray.
Content, wife Marian, she'll do as thou dost say. But bus me, it pray thee, at going away.
Thou horse and knave and prick-eared boy, why didst thou let him fight? If one had killed another here, could thou their deaths requite? It bears a sign by this deed, a cowardly knave thou art. Else wouldst thou draw that weapon thine like a man to them parts?
What, Marian may be good. You come prattling. You may get a box on the ear with your talking. If they had killed one another, I cared not a piece.
Oh, villain! Myself on thee! I must ease. Oh, give me a box on the ear. Oh, that I will try. Ha! Who shall be master? Thou shalt see by and by.
No more, no more, no more. I beseech you heartily. Now I yield and give you the mastery.
Thou knave, thou dost throw me down and run thy way. If he were here again, oh, how I would him pay. I will after him, and if I can him meet, with these my nails his face I will greet.
Come forth, my son, unto my words attentive ears resign. What I pretend see you frequent to force this game of mine. The king a kinswoman hath, adorned with beauty's store, and I wish that Dian's gifts they twain shall keep no more. But use my silvered, sugared game their joys for to augment. When I do speak to wound his heart, Cupid, my son, consent to shoot at him the shaft of love that bears the head of gold, and wound his heart in lover's wise, his grief for to unfold. Though kin she be unto his grace, that nature me expel. Against the course thereof he may in my game please me well. Wherefore, my son, do not forget, forthwith pursue the deed.
Mother, I mean for to obey, as you have hold decreed, but you must let me tell you, mother dear, when I shall arrow draw, else your request to be attained will not be worth a straw. I am blind and cannot see, but still do shoot by guess. The poets well in places store of my might do express.
Cupid, my son, when time shall serve that thou shalt do this deed, then warning I to thee will give. But see thou shoot with speed.
Lady dear, king akin, Forthwith let us proceed to trace abroad the beauty fields, as erst we had decreed. The blowing buds whose savoury scents our sense will much delight, the sweet smell of musk-white rose to please the appetite, the chirping birds whose pleasant tunes therein shall hear record, that our great joy we shall it find in field to walk abroad. On lute and cittern there to play a heavenly harmony, our ears shall hear, heart to content, our sports to beautify.
Unto your words, most comely lord, myself submit do I, to trace with you in field so green, I mean not to deny.
And I, your waiting maid at hand, with diligence will be, for to fulfill with heart and hand when you shall command me.
Come on, my lord and knight, abroad our mirth let us employ. Since he is dead, this heart of mine in corpse I feel it joy. Should brother mine have reigned king when I had yielded breath, 1,000 brothers I rather had to put them all to death. But oh, behold where I do see a lord and lady fair. For beauty she most worthy is to sit in prince's chair.
Shoot forth, my son, now is the time, that thou must wound his heart.
Can take you, mother. I will do my part.
Of truth, my lord, in eye of mine all ladies she doth excel. Can none report what dame she is, and to my grace it tell?
Redoubted prince, pleaseth your grace, to you she is akin, cousin german, nigh of birth, by mother's side come in.
That her waiting maiden is, attending her upon. He is a lord of prince's court, and will be there anon. They sport themselves in pleasant field, the former used use.
My lord and knight, of truth I speak, my heart it cannot choose. But with my lady I must speak, and so express my mind. My lord and ladies, walking there, if you will favour find, present yourselves unto my grace, and by my side come stand.
We will fulfill, most mighty king, as your grace doth command.
Lady dear, intelligence my grace hath got of late. You issued out of mother's stock and kin unto my state. According to rule of birth, you are cousin german mine. Yet do I wish that farther off this kindred I could find. For Cupid, he that eyeless boy, my heart hath so inflamed with beauty you me to content, the like cannot be named. For since I entered in this place and on you fixed mine eyes, most burning fits about my heart in ample wise did rise. The heat of them such force doth yield, my corpse they scorch, alas, and burns the same with wasting heat as Titan doth the grass. Sith this heat is kindled so and fresh in heart of me, there is no way but of the same the quencher you must be. My meaning is, that beauty yours my heart with love doth wound. To give me love, mine to content, my heart hath you outfound. And you are she must be my wife, else I shall end my days. Consent to this, and be my queen to wear the crown with praise.
If it please your grace, O mighty king, you shall not this request. It is a thing that nature's course doth utterly detest. And high it would the gods displease of all that is the worst, to grant your grace to marry so, it is not that I durst. Yet humble thanks I render now unto you, mighty king, that you vouchsafe to great estate so gladly would me bring. Were it not, it were offence, I would not deny. But such great honour to achieve, my heart I would apply. Therefore, O king, with humble heart in this I pardon crave. Mine answer is in this request, your mind ye may not love.
May I not? Nay, then I will. By all the gods I vow, and I will marry thee as wife. This is mine answer now. Who dare say nay what I pretend? Who dare the same withstand shall lose his head, and have report as traitor through the land. There is no nay. I will you have, and you my queen shall be.
Then, mighty king, I crave your grace to hear the words of me. Your counsel take of lording's wit, the lords of right peruse. If I would safe may grant this deed, I will it not refuse.
No, no. What I have said to you, I mean to have it so. For counsel theirs I mean not I in this respect to go, but to my palace let us go, the marriage to prepare. For to avoid my will in this, I cannot it forbear.
Oh, God, forgive me if I do amiss. The king by compulsion enforceth me this.
Unto the gods for your estate I will not cease to pray, that you may be a happy queen, and see most joyful day.
Come on, my lords. With gladsome hearts let us rejoice with glee. Your music show to joy this deed, at the request of me.
For to obey your grace's word.
Oh, this duty degree.
Well, passion of me. Marry, as you say, yonder is a royal court. There is triumphing and sport upon sport, such loyal lords with such lordly exercise, frequenting such pastime as they can devise, running at tilt, jousting, running at the ring, masking and mumming with each kind of thing, such dancing, such singing, such musical harmony. Believe me, I was loath to absent their company. Will you believe, Jesus, what haste they made till they were married? Not for £1 million one day longer they would have tarried. Not for £1 million. There were a banquet royal, super excellent. Thousands and thousands of that banquet was spent. I muse of nothing but that they can be married so soon. I care not if I be married before tomorrow at noon. Marriage be a thing that so may be had. Oh, now say ye, maid, marry me, you will be glad. Out of doubt, I believe it is some excellent treasure, else to the same belongs abundant pleasure. Yet with mine ears I have heard some say that ever I was married, now cursed be the day. Those be that they that with cursed wives be matched, the husbands for hawks meat of them up is snatched. Knave, head broke with a bed staff, face be all to scratched, knave, slave, villain, coil coat now and then. When the wife hath given in, she will say, "Oh, lass, good man." Well, such were better unmarried, my masters, I trow, than all their life after to be married with a shrew.
With speed I am sent all things to prepare. My message to do as the king did declare, his grace doth mean a banquet to make, meaning in this place repast for to take. Well, the cloth shall be laid, and all things in readiness to return to court to return when done is my business.
A man, also a fit for the king's estate to prepare a banquet.
What, Ambidexter? Thou art not unknown, a mischief on all good faces, so that I curse not mine own. Now, in the knave's name, shake hands with me.
Well said, Goodman Pouchmouth. Your reverence, I see. I will teach ye if your manners no better be. Ye slave, the king doth me a gentleman allow. Therefore, I look that to me ye shall bow.
Good master Ambidexter, pardon my behavior. For this your deed, ye are a knave for your labor.
Ye stale counselly villain, nothing but knave.
I'm sorry your mastership offended, I have. Shake hands. That between us agreement may be. I was overshot with myself, I do see. Let me have your help. This furniture to provide. The king from this place will not long abide.
Content? It's a thing that I would wish. I myself we'll go fetch a dish.
Cleanly, Master Ambidexter, for fare on the ground they lie.
I will have them up again by and by.
To see in all readiness, I will put you in trust. There is no nay to the court, needs I must.
Have you no doubt? But all shall be well. Marry, sir, as you say, this gear doth excel. All things is in a readiness when they come hither. The king's grace and the queen, both together. I beseech ye, my masters, tell me, is it not best that I be so bold as to bid a guest? He is honest the man as ever spurred cow. My cousin Cupid, I mean. I beseech ye, judge you. Believe me, cousin, if to the king's guest you could be taken, I trust that offer would not be forsaken. But, cousin, because to that office ye are not likely to come, frequent your exercises, horn on your thumb, quick eye, sharp knife, hand a receiver. Then take heed, cousin, you be a cleanly conveyor. Content yourself, cousin, for this banquet you are unfit, when such as I, the same, am not worthy to sit.
My queen and lords, to take repast, let us attempt the same. Here is the place, delay no time, but to our purpose frame.
With willing hearts, your whole behest, we mindful to obey.
And we, the rest
The
of the
prince's
prince's
train
Trade will
will
do
do
as you
do
say.
Methinks mine ears do wish the sound of music's harmony. Here for to play before my grace, in place I would them spy.
They be at hand, sir, with stick and fiddle. They can play a new dance called Hey Diddle Diddle.
My queen, perpend. What I pronounce, I will not violate. But one thing, which my heart makes glad, I mind to explicate. You know in court uptrained is a lion, very young, of one litter, 2 whelps beside, as yet not very strong. I did request 1 whelp to see, and this young lion fight. But lion did the whelp convince by strength of force and might his brother whelp, perceiving that the lion was too good, and he by force was like to see the other whelp, his blood. With force to lion he did run his brother for to help. A wonder great it was to see this friendship in a whelp. So then the whelps between them both the lion did convince, which thing to see before mine eyes did glad the heart of prince.
Oh, these words to hear make stilling tears issue from crystal eyes.
What dost thou mean, my spouse, to weep for loss of any prize?
Oh, no, O king, but as you see, friendship in brothers whelp, when one was like to have repulsed the other, yielded help. And was this favour showed in dogs to shame a royal king? Alack, I wish these ears of mine had not once heard this thing. Even so should you, O mighty king, to brother been a stay, and not without offence to you, in such wise him to slay. In all says it was your part his cause to have defended, and whosoever had him misused to have them reprehended. But faithful love was more in dog than it was in your grace.
O cursed caitiff, vicious, vile, I hate thee in this place. This banquet is at an end. Take all these things away. Before my face thou shalt repent the words that thou dost say. O wretch most vile, didst thou the cause of brother mine so tender? The loss of him should grieve thy heart, he being none offender. It did me good his death to have, so will it to have thine. What friendship he had at my hands, the same even thou shalt find. I give consent, and make a vow, that thou shalt die the death by cruel sword and murder fell, even thou shalt lose thy breath. Ambidexter! See with speed to cruelty ye go, can cause him hither to approach, murder with him also.
I ready am for to fulfill, if that be your grace's will.
Then not oblight my message given, absent thyself away.
Well, then is this place I will no longer stay. If that I durst, I would mourn your case, but at last I dare not, for fear of his grace.
Thou cursed Jill, by all the gods I take an oath and swear that flesh of thine these hands of mine in pieces small could tear. But thou shalt die by dint of sword. There is no friend, nay fee, shall find remorse at prince's hand to save the life of thee.
O mighty king and husband mine, vouchsafe to hear me speak, and license give to spouse of mine her patient mind to break. For tender love unto your grace my words I did so frame. For pure love doth heart of king me violate and blame. And to your grace this offence, that I should purchase death? Then curse time that I was queen to shorten this my breath. Your grace doth know my marriage true. I am your wife and spouse, and one to save another's health. A troth plight made our vows. Therefore, O king, let loving queen at thy hand find remorse. Let pity be a mean to quench that cruel raging force. And pardon plight from prince's mouth yield grace unto your queen, that amity with faithful zeal may ever be us between.
A caitiff vile, to pity thee my heart it is not bent. Nay, yet to pardon your offence it is not mine intent.
Our mighty prince, with humble suit of this grace I crave, that this request it may take place, your favour for to have. Let mercy yet abundantly the life of queen preserve, since she is most obedient wife, your grace's will doth serve. As yet your grace but while with her hath cohabitation, and sure this is no desert why, to yield her indignation. Therefore, O king, her life prolong, to joy her days in bliss.
Your grace shall win immortal fame in granting unto this. She is a queen whose goodly hue excels the royal rose. For beauty bright Dame Nature she a large gift did dispose. For comeliness who may compare, of all she bears the bell. This should give cause to move your grace to love her very well. Her silver breasts in those your arms to sing the songs of love, fine qualities most excellent, to be in her you prove. A precious pearl of price to prince, a jewel passing all. Therefore, O king, to beg remorse, on both my knees I fall, to grant her grace to have her life. With heart I do desire.
You villains twain, with raging force ye set my heart on fire. If I consent that she shall die, how dare ye crave her life? You too, to ask this at my hand, doth much enlarge my strife. Were't not for shame you two should die that for her life do sue. But favour mine from you is gone, my lords, I tell you true. I sent for cruelty of late. If he would come away, I would commit her to his hands, his cruel part do play. Even now, I see where he doth come. It doth my heart delight.
Come, murder, come, let us go forth with might. Once again, the king's commandment we must fulfill.
Am contented to do it with a good will.
Murder and cruelty. For both of you I sent, with all festination, your offices to frequent. Lay hold on the queen, take her to your power, and make her away within this hour. Spare for no fear, I do you full permit, so I from this place do mean for to flit.
With
Courageous hearts, O
O
king, we
king,
will obey.
will obey.
Then come, my lords, let us depart, away.
With heavy hearts we will do what your grace doth say.
Come, lady and queen, now are you in our handling. In faith, with you we will use no dandling.
With all expedition, murder will take place. Though you be a queen, ye be under my grace.
With patience I will you both obey.
No more words, but go with us away.
Yet, before I die, some psalm to God let me sing.
We will be content to permit you that thing.
Farewell, you ladies of the court, with all your masking hue. I do forsake these bordered guards, and all the fashions new. The court, and all the courtly train, wherein I had delight, I banished from happy sport, and all by spiteful spite. Yet with a joyful heart to God, a psalm I meant to sing, forgiving all and the king of each kind of thing.
I cannot choose but weep for the queen. Nothing but mourning now at the court is seen. Oh, oh, my heart, my heart. Oh, my bum will break. Oh. Very grief so torments me that I scarce can speak. Who could but weep for the loss of such a lady? Well, that cannot I do. I swear by mine honesty. Lord, so the ladies mourn, crying, alack! For nothing is worn now but only black. I believe all the cloth in Watling Street to make gowns would not serve. If I make a lie, the devil let me starve. All ladies mourn, both young and old. There is not one that weareth a point's worth of gold. There is a sort for fear of the king, do pray, that would have him dead, by the mass, I dare say. What a king was he that hath used such tyranny? He was akin to Bishop Bonner, I think verily, for both their delights was to shed blood, never intended to do any good. Cambyses put a judge to death, well, that was a good deed. But to kill the young child was worse to proceed, to murder his brother, and then his own wife. God help me and Helen, it's a pity of his life. Here, I will lay £20,000 that the king himself doth die by some wound. He hath shed so much blood that his will be shed. If it come to pass, i' faith, then he is sped.
Out, alas! What shall I do? My life is finished. Wounded by sudden chance. My blood is minished. Gog's heart, what means might I make my life to preserve? Is there not to be my help? Nor is there not to serve? Out upon the court and lords that there remain, to help my grief in this my case. Will none of them take pain? Who but I, in such a wise my death wound could have got? As I on horseback up did leap, my sword from scabbard shot, and run me thus into the side, as you right well might see. Marvellous chance unfortunate that in this wise should be. I feel myself a-dying now, of life bereft am I, and death hath caught me with his dart for want of blood. I spy, thus gasping here on ground I lie. For nothing do I care. A just reward for my misdeeds my death doth plain declare.
How now, noble king? Pluck up your heart. What will you die and from us depart? Will you speak to me? Can you be alive? You cannot speak. Behold now with death he doth strive. Alas, good king, alas, he is gone. Well, the devil take me if I make any moan. I did prognosticate of his end by the mass, like as I did say, so is it come to pass. I will be gone. If I should be found here, that I should kill him, it would appear. For fear with his death they do me charge. Farewell, my masters. I will go take barge. I mean to be packing. Now is the tide. Farewell, my masters. I will no longer abide.
Behold, my lords, it is even so, as he to us did tell. His grace is dead upon the ground, by dint of sword most fell.
As he in saddle would have leapt, his sword from sheath did go, goring him up into his side. His life is ended so.
Blood so fast did issue out, that naught could him prolong. Yet before he yielded up the ghost, his heart was very strong.
A just reward for his misdeeds that God above hath wrought, for certainly the life he led was to be counted naught.
Yet a princely burial he shall have, according to his estate, and more of him here at this time we have not to dilate.
My lords, let us take him up, to carry him away.
Content we are with one accord to do as you do say.
Right, gentle audience. Here have you perused the tragical history of this wicked king. According to our duty, we have not refused, but to our best intent expressed everything. We trust none is offended for this our doing. Are all the graves likewise, if he have squared amiss by gentle admonition to know where the fault is? His good will shall not be neglected to amend the same, praying all to forbear therefore with his simple deed, until the time serve a better he may frame. Thus, yielding you our thanks, to end we decreed that you so gently have suffered us to proceed, in such patient wise as to hear and see. We can but thank you therefore. We can do no more. We, as duty binds us, for our noble queen, let us pray. And for her honourable council, the truth that they may use, to practice justice and defend her grace each day, to maintain God's word, that they may not refuse, to correct all those that would her grace and grace's law abuse, beseeching God over us she may reign long, to be guided by truth and defended from wrong.
Well done, everyone. Okay.
That was good.
Yeah, there was some really good stuff going on there. Cambyses dying with the sword at a specific angle in the way that the art of course acting section on dying suggests one should never do.
Some of us couldn't afford drama school, dude. The Bible.
Always die behind a sofa. That's basically the rule of thumb. No, some really interesting things there. That finding the relationship with some of the doubling was much clearer. The way that Hob and Lob and Murder and Cruelty working as a unit is really interesting. That really came across there. So that sort of, and especially as the other day we did Edward IV, when we were talking about some of the doubling that might happen there with sort of thematically linked characters, that there's a sort of a bit of a connective tissue there that I quite liked. The general flow of it, and it does flow very well. Even the ending, which we were quite critical of last time, seemed to work worked quite well, actually. I found the Ambidexter. So someone said in chat, I think it was Alexandra, just the way that Ambidexter is just completely not phased by the king just wandering on and dying. Having said, in the moment, the king's probably going to come on and die, and oh look, the king's come on and died. We are into extra time as tends to be on a Friday, so I'm not going to go all the way around the houses. Anyone got any sort of general thoughts about how it flowed for you as an actor? Obviously, the lords were a little underused, but they would normally be doubled within the group. Elizabeth.
A real highlight of today's session was Huff, Ruff, and Snuff. That was so good. I've never seen anything like it.
Yes.
I think Hob and Lob were...
Hob and Lob were my favourites.
Those accents were superb.
I was amazed at how well it worked, actually. I thought getting into it, I was like, this isn't gonna make any sense, but it was great. I lived
perfect sense
with the accent.
Yeah, I blame Kyle because, for the record, I'd prepared something completely different, and then that happened.
Wow. It was beautiful.
Did it happen spontaneously, or did you chat about it in chat? Just happened.
No, Alexandra just went with it, so thank you. That was fantastic.
But yes, for posterity, he started it.
Yeah, it's the going back to Snuff, Huff, and Ruff. It's just, I remember from the first section just the way that Meretrix basically just gets one of them down into submission, and there's something really weirdly sexual about what she's probably spanking him there.
Weirdly, completely appropriately sexual.
Yeah. It's there's all sorts of really weird things. It's also looking at the way the knights and knight and counsellor and these various lords might function. So it's like Praxaspes, or whatever his name is, clearly is the counsellor that we saw in the first scene. It's clearly that's just the name hasn't crossed over, and the way the knight functions throughout, the knight could be some of the other lords at times, but it's the same person. It's not a different lord or things like that. So there's all sorts of things which could flow in really interesting ways. Other thoughts in the room?
Just going on from that, I think there'd be something really interesting in exploring the atmosphere of the court more, the way at which it goes from eager obedience, if you like, or normal obedience, to slightly nervous obedience, to terrified obedience, to actually maybe we just better sidle off and get ourselves out of here. That would be fun to do.
Yeah. No, I absolutely agree. When you don't have, with doubling as it stands in the text, that many courtiers to do the reacting, when you really need lots of people to do reacting stuff. So, I was looking in the doubling about, even if it's just getting people to still be on stage, to be immediately a different counsellor, just even if they're not a character, they're just there reacting. Seems quite important.
I thought the knight probably should have stayed, but because he wasn't listed and I hadn't come in at first, then it seemed strange. But he could have kind of, Yeah,
there are a few moments like that where there's a lot of that sort of one to workshop. If one goes with that size cast, if we've got more people to play with, then we can play around with different things. Helen, I saw a hand.
Yeah, Venus and Cupid, to be frank, I think could have been dispensed with entirely. I mean, I'm not saying that Cupid wasn't absolutely ace, especially with props and blindfolds. I thought that was tremendous, but I didn't feel that I didn't feel they added anything. They were just weird.
Yeah,
I
felt the same actually. Playing Cupid, it was a fun little bit, but I'm sure they could have just done that whole bit with him falling in love without weird random classical figures.
Liza, then Aliki.
From my perspective, what they add is time, and because that scene is a bit of a transition from what's gone before. So they give me kind of crucial time to change. I forget what I changed, but I definitely changed something to put props away, take props up.
Aliki.
I just had the observation that, a little bit of sexposition never goes awry, and the possibility of sexy lady, I know she wouldn't have been played by a sexy lady, but the idea of sexy lady is there.
Well, it's the detail. We were talking about this before we went up of, Cupid's got 2 arrows. He's got one gold and one of lead. And the gold is the one that sends the love, inverted commas, here, to Cambyses, and lead the one of sorrow to the lady. And there's a sort of, so it's the visual element, they both get hit by an arrow, but one is the arrow of please dear God go away, as well as and it's again, it's part of that visual dimension of this scene. I almost want an exploding wall behind them of colours and lights of of love hearts and just despair emojis and things like that. On the other, I wonder about it. Other thoughts, Eric?
Well, I can't work out why they didn't just kill him. I mean, Cambyses, because they killed Caesar, historically speaking, so they can't get organized long enough to kill Cambyses. Is that the problem?
Killing Caesar did not work out well.
Yeah, I know, but it's kind of, you know what I mean, in terms of play.
Yeah, it's well, there's always lots of good reasons why leaders do not get killed, and it's interesting in this play, as that you get the Praxaspes making that terrible mistake of giving some honest feedback. Never do that. But to be fair, he's a bit wrong-footed because he's not expecting it to go that badly. Perhaps though is immediately following on from someone getting his comeuppance. So there's all sorts of interesting things there. Other thoughts, Lynn?
Just in response to Eric, I think if you do this play just at a full gallop, just roll through it as fast as is comprehensible, then you create the sense that the political situation deteriorates too fast for a conspiracy to be organized. So there's your reason that he doesn't get assassinated. It's just too much shit happens too fast for people to get it together to put together an assassination plot.
Yeah, it does have a real momentum to it, this play. Actually, we didn't go at it with too much of a lick, which was fine. But it has a momentum to it, which is really quite holding on to our attention very effectively. Any other thoughts on the room? Kyle, I don't think you were here the first time around we did this one, so how did you find Cambyses?
It's just fun. There's no better way to put it. And I love Ambidexter. I really enjoy his interactions with the audience and the way that he had these lovely bits written in with calling out people and the cut purses and the ladies and all of those individuals that are out there. And I think that works really well even for a digital format. It's really kind of fun. And of course, Stephen played him just really lovely and a lot. It was really enjoyable. Every time he came out, I was just excited to see him and to know who he was going to talk to and what he was going to talk about. You look forward to seeing him.
Yeah, one of the disadvantages with doing it with individuals, only the speakers on screen, is you can't play the room in the way that, because I remember when I read Ambidexter for one of the sessions last time, coming on stage and saying, well, what do you think about that, or whatever the line was, and then just go, no, I'm sorry, response please, and actually worked the room, because that's kind of what he does, and yeah, so there's huge potential there with a live audience to work. Other thoughts? No, the room is silent. Oh, Helen.
Yeah, I've already spoken once, but I don't care anymore. Look, I think, I've been saying this in chat, I think this is a nested play with Ambidexter running in all the plays. But the Ruff, Snuff, Tough and Huff people and Meretrix and Lob and Hob and all the rest of it are ordinary life going a lot around. But being aware of this other play, which is the central play, the Cambyses play, which is, somebody said weird, but then they always are. And then you've got Ambidexter is also talking to the audience. So he's the link through all the plays. But I really do think that this is a play, a court play within a rural play, rustic play.
I don't know. They feel quite cosmopolitan. Most of the urban rather the various comic subplots. They don't feel rural at all.
Kyle,
I know some of them are written rural, but
Kyle, where was your accent from?
It was a mix of kind of southern Mississippi, Tennessee, Arkansas. But I saw the neighbor, the way that just having that neighbor in there, and the way that the meter is still there, but the vowel choices really kind of let for this kind of elongation that just sounded kind of fun. And I don't know, that's just kind of how it struck me when I read it the first time. And I wasn't sure that I was going to do it today, but I was having such fun. You all were doing so lovely. I was like, I don't have as many props or costumes, and so I thought I've got to go for it. We've got to go all out with it. So so that's why I just jumped into it. But I was amazed at how well it fit. And I know there's linguists and others study about the American Southern accent being the most approximate to various British dialects, and since I'm not well versed in a whole round of British dialects, I decided, well, I'll stick with what I know, and that's what I did. Absolutely. We are unfortunately very much over time, so I'm going to have to wrap it up there. It's been it's been fun. Flaying people and killing children. Welcome to the court of Cambyses. It's quite different from Bradford. Oh
no, it isn't.
Don't try this at home.
Yes, don't try this at home. No. If you've been affected by any of the issues raised in this play, dear God, wow. Anyway, so we may return with another second look play sometime in the future. We don't necessarily do them every week, but hopefully there'll be another one coming up soon. We definitely will be coming back to some first look exploring sessions next week. But all that remains is to thank all these wonderful performers today for all their wonderful work, and goodbye.
Bye.